Hello everyone, my name is Dan, and today we're going to be messing around inside of Minecraft. We're going to be doing some stuff. We're going to be doing some very command block related stuff. In the last video that I made, hopefully if this video ever makes it up, this will make sense. But last time I made this, and basically what this is a TNT tsunami, and it wipes out enemies fairly efficiently, scarily efficiently actually. I go ahead and get some wither skeletons. It's quite amazing how they've added the wither skeletons spawning to the game. I really love it how I don't have to summon these guys in with commands. We could do it, but I'm not going to bother with that. Basically, if these enemies that are on the platform are on here, they're not going to be there for very long. That's basically how this works. Certainly because of how many command blocks there are. I thought it would be cool to mess around and see what we can actually do in terms of, I don't know, shapes, special attacks. We could design some special attacks. I think it would be quite cool to make like a V shape, perhaps. This one's going to require a little bit more redstone than normal. We're going to have to do a bit of shielding, it should be fine though. We go ahead and we do this. I should be able to design the command blocks in like whatever pattern I want, so long as we can power them properly. Should be fine. I might want to actually space these a little bit further, because sometimes it just don't work out too good. I could play with the repeater ticks, but I don't think that's really all that necessary. We should only need one trail of repeaters also to actually trigger this, which is really good. So we're going to have our basic V shape of repeaters going into this command block V. All these command blocks have saved NBT data, so we don't have to worry about coding them. If you open them up, they've already got the code in them. All it is a /summon and then Minecraft TNT minecart, and then we're all good to go. With these triple ones, we only need one just because of how Minecraft's redstone mechanics work, which is really good. You don't have to put all three in. All three might be good actually if the blast shielding wasn't too good, because we could better protect it. Now, before we test this, it is of utmost importance that we actually shield this with bedrock. We have to shield this with bedrock, and if we do not, it will just catastrophically fail, basically. I'm also going to add a spacer here so that any type of pressure plate can be used, including the weighted pressure plate. Otherwise, it's just not going to work. Another area we've got to worry about here is these little gaps here where there's a diagonal slot that looks like this. The TNT minecarts are actually powerful enough to blast through bedrock on that particular angle. So we have to be very strategic in how we place our bedrock shielding here. This is blast protection. We're designing real blast protection here. I think also it could be cool to have like a timed delay where this like boosts into a second wave almost of redstone destruction. Since we're in creative, it doesn't really matter how many repeaters we use, which is nice. Go ahead and do this. Should be able to add a spacing of 3. And just because of how command blocks work, we should actually be able to do a triple on each of these, or a double summon. Just because of how when blocks are powered by a repeater, they trigger in like a row of 3, which is really useful. So we can go ahead and we'll just place some basic shielding on here. It's going to look a little bit weird when we're done, because it's going to be like a random bedrock shape in the middle of the ground. That's going to look a bit suspicious to any enemies. People might think it's just, people who haven't watched this video and come on the server during one of the live streams or something. They might just think that it's, decorative. Maybe I just made a random pattern in the ground for all they know. They don't know that there's redstone under here, unless they watch this video, in which case my plan is stuffed, because they'll know. Probably put this one out here, actually. There's a little bit of uneven structuring here. I should be able to just even it out down. There we go. Now we've got the basic shape over the top. The most important bit is shielding the top. I would normally not... Actually, no, I'm going to fill command most of it, but I'll fill the rest in manually. /fill. Then we go from here. We go all the way over to... Got to make sure not to fill it in the wrong place, or it'll wipe all of my structures. Up here. Just do Minecraft Bedrock. I'm typing Minecraft Bedrock out of habit, because in the old versions, you don't really need to type the whole thing now, because you can just type bed and then press tab. But in the old days, you had to manually type out every letter. It would be like you had to type Minecraft and then a colon and then whatever block ID. And to get the block ID, you had to go into the creative menu and press F3 and H to get the tooltips. As you can see under here, I've got tooltips. So it says Minecraft command block and then 7 components underneath that. If you don't have that, if you press F3 and H, it will toggle it. So F3 and H, that's a little thing, advanced tooltips. So that's gone now. Normally you just don't get this, but if you press F3 and H, it'll show them so you can see what the block ID is. I'm just going to make it day again because we've been playing too long and it's already night. Alright, here we go. Put a barrier in here. I could put barriers in here, but I feel like that gives away the location of the, gives away the location of where the attack's going to happen. We don't want people to know exactly where the command blocks are because that would give them time to dodge. And we do not want the person to be able to dodge, I guess, when you're designing the command block mechanics. Alright, we're done. A regular weighted pressure plate should work. See how this works. Oh dear, look at that. It's a weird looking attack if ever I did say. Now we could manually go through and change the heights of all of the TNT. I can't really be bothered doing that, so I'm just going to test it, see if it works. Sorry guys, you are necessary for science. Oh! Oh, that's all of them gone. That really did it. That's a really overpowered command right there. Now, not only can we actually summon it, the reason I'm using TNT minecarts is because there's a delay. If we use regular TNT that's primed, there would be no delay and the enemy would be instantly dead, and that's no fun. We do want the enemy to have some degree of they could escape. So you don't want it to be so overpowered that it's basically the /kill command. So these guys, if they're quick enough and they're smart enough, they get off the platform. They could escape. See, these guys escaped. That guy's still alive. But if you stay on there too long, once they drop, once you see someone step on this particular area, you've got to get out of the way real quick. Same thing for this particular zone here. I'm just going to put a blast shield here real quick. I'll use barriers so we can still see. That's a much better idea. Let's place some barrier blocks over here. Don't worry, it's not modded. This is vanilla for anyone who's a newcomer to the game. You just have to give it to yourself and with commands. So we turn this off. Oh, look at that. It's still got around the blast shield. That's how powerful these TNT minecarts are. We really have to build a full blast shield. Occasionally there's the odd stray minecart that just gets around. And then we'll just put a little barrier here so that only I know that you can get up here. Because normally, when these barriers fade away, it'll look like there's nothing here. But now that I know there's a barrier there, I can actually climb up here. I can step on this. I will be safe from any attack that the enemy might have. The enemy will not be safe from any attack that I might have. And, oh, look at that, it broke. It still broke. That's how powerful this is. I wonder if I can just run back and forward, can I? Oh, I can too. Look at that. Look at that damage. That's a lot of damage. I could probably do the same for over here. We could make a little blast shield here. These barriers are such useful blocks because you can shield things from everything without having to, you know, worry about explosions and whatever. You can just put a wall up of it, an invisible wall. We could actually use the fill command to make an invisible force barrier as well, which is an interesting thing you can do. If I step over here, boom! Look at that. We are protected. The pressure plate is not broken. The enemies are all destroyed. I might make one that summons enemies too. That could be pretty cool. Because then you got like minions. The problem is they can't distinguish between who's the good guy and who's the bad guy. So they just, yeah. I feel like I've committed a war crime here today. I'm gonna end the video there. It's just a little messing around with my new creation. But thanks for watching. Have a nice day. This looks like a diode. It looks like I've just actually no. It looks like one of those logic gates from computer science. Anyway, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.